Okay, this is my computer. I have a browser in this. I have Tomcat server in this. I have, right? Next, I can deploy multiple applications here. So there is one application called as Amazon. There is one more application called as Flipkart I deployed. Flipkart, right? Or else like something like Wikisoft. There is something called as Wikisoft, right? There is one more application, right? KC. Okay, there is something called as one more application called as KC Technologies. Means two institute websites I have deployed in the same Tomcat. Now tell me, if I want to access the host, right? In my browser, I'll type like this: http://localhost. My request will go till host, but the request has to go till Tomcat. Then what should I type?
Port number.
Yeah, 8080 I have to type because my Tomcat is running on the 8080 port number. Okay. Now the request will come till Tomcat, right? You will get such screen. You will get such screen. That's it. But inside my Tomcat, I deployed two applications, Wikisoft and KC Technologies. Now I want to see the homepage of Wikisoft. I don't want to see Tomcat. What I will get this? If I share with you people, hey, for my next batch, please register here. If I give this, where you will register? I have a registration page for my Wikis. In my Wikisoft application, I have a registration page where user can see. For my KC Technologies, I have a page where users can register here. So how should I access that? Is when you deploy an application in Tomcat, each application will have one context to root. Who will set this? Developers will set it. While developing the application itself, they'll set it. So, right? So each application will have context to root. How we have to type is after port number slash, if the context to root is of Wikisoft is Wikisoft, you have to type like this. You have to type like this. The request will go to this Wikisoft, right? Now, till here, what will happen? The request will come till my host, the same host, right? If I type 8080, the request will come from host to from browser to this Tomcat. Now I'll be able to see this. I'll be able to see the Tomcat homepage, but I don't want that. I want to see the wiki. I want to access an application, the Wikisoft application, which is present inside Tomcat. So I'll give the context root of that Wikisoft application, which is in the deployed in the Tomcat. So if I give it, it will come. If I type http://localhost:8080/KC Technologies, right? http://localhost:8080. So in the same Tomcat, the request has to go to the same Tomcat, but inside the Tomcat, I have KC Technologies application. That application context root is this one. If I type this, the request will go to this application. Understood, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there is something called as manager app, server status. This and all we'll see in a moment. First, let me deploy one application here. Let me deploy an application here. So how to deploy? See, I'll go here. Just a second. Just a second. Maven projects, KC Maven web project. Let me run a goal here. MVN clean package. MVN. Okay. MVN clean package I'm executing. Okay. Done. Right. Build is success. So now I have that inside the target. I have a latest variable. How to deploy this into Tomcat?
Copy this and paste it in web apps in Tomcat folder.
Okay. I'm copying this var file, going to web apps directory of my Tomcat. This is the latest version, right? Which I started here. This is the latest version of Tomcat I started, right? Inside the web apps, I'm pasting it here. Now you observe, I just pasted it, right? Var file. You wait a second. You'll wait a second. Just wait a second. You will see something. See, have you observed this? A folder has been created with this var file, just except .var, the same name, a folder has created, right? So when you deploy a var file or jar, any artifact, if you deploy in the web apps directory, automatically your Tomcat will extract it. So if you see this, it will have all the source code. It will have all the source code of that. Okay, it is the compiled files, .class files. If you go here, that compiled .class file, see everything it has. Okay, Okay, I deployed my application, but how to access that? A is, let me check the host name. It don't have, it will use the var name only. If I go here after 8080, I'm going to use the same var file name here, except.var. This is the home page of my application. This is the home page of my application. I'm able to see this. Yes or no? I'm able to access my application. Yes or no?
Could you please do that again? We screen got lagged.
I just try to access. I deployed my application here. I want to access it from the browser. So if I type till 8080, this is a Tomcat port number. I'm able to access only Tomcat. Oh, what is that? Home page. Tomcat is fine, but inside Tomcat, I have an application. I have an application deployed. I want to access this application. For that, what should I do? I have to give the context root. For this application, there is no context root. So by default, we have to give the var file name, except where, what is the var name is there, right? You give it here. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. After this slash, you give the name here. So I'll be able to access my website. Understood, guys? You call only on this number, not on this number.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This number is not there. Only call this number if you want. Okay. Understood, guys?
Yes.
So just the me data I kept here. Okay. Understood. Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh. Now I deployed some changes here. I deployed it here. I want to change some details in this application, which is already deployed, right? Which is already running. So what I'll do is I'll go to my var file. Open archive. See, which is already deployed, right? There is a bug in real time. For example, I already deployed an application. That application has a small bug, right? So this is HTML is a static file. So I'm going to this. I'm going to open this. Okay, HTML, it will directly open this. I cannot this. Or else let me do one thing. Let me take it out, copy here. Just let me copy it here. 1 second. I want to modify it. So there is an error. I want to change this into KC Technologies. Okay, KC. I want to change the phone number. I want to change the mobile number as well. Some code I want to take. KC Technologies, DevOps, this course content. I added few more code, right? This one ELK for this patch. I'm going to this ELK. Okay. So I want to change these details, right? I want to change the phone number as well, right? Telephone number. So this one here, 701358586, something like this. Like this, I want to change. I change the code, right? This one, this is not a valid email ID. I did the changes in a HTML file, right? Now I'm trying to copy, means this application is already running. Now I'm trying to replace this XML, the HTML directly. Actually, in real time, we have to redeploy. Means the HTML change, if it modified, we have to test it in a dev server, like that we have to do. But what I'm doing is I'm directly changing inside the file itself. Now, if I go and refresh this, right? This one. If I refresh the URL, okay, it is saying it's not there. Just a second. Why it's not there? It might be restarting the application. Okay, it is restarting. Huh? Okay, no problem. I no need to close it right now. Okay, see this. The changes are affected. The changes are automatically affected. Now remember one thing. It is a HTML file. I directly changed. This is not a proper way to do the deployment. Means without testing, we should not directly do the changes. See, actually, the code has to be changed in a developer's local machine. They have to push it to GitHub, right? Then through Maven, we have to generate a new artifact with the latest version 1.3 and then deploy it. But I'm not doing that. I can directly modify it inside the var file also. I can directly modify this. Just for your idea, I'm saying, but we should not do this in real time. We can do like this also. Okay. We can change the .class files also, but what is that? I'll discuss at the end of the Tomcat. For now, have you understood how to deploy into Tomcat?
Yes.
Just placing the var file into web apps directory of Tomcat. and access it. So have you understood what is this local host? What is this port number? What is this context route? If I have some other application, like one more WAR file, I'll deploy it here, right? That application will have some other context route. I'll give it here. For example, 80 Wikisoft, I'll give it. Right? Do you have anything here, Wikisoft?
No.
No, I don't have. So there is no application deployed here. So it is giving 404 HTTP status 40 not found. Remember this error code also. This is also important. They'll ask in the interviews and real time also. By seeing the error itself, you have to identify. 404 not found means incorrect URL. Incorrect URL. Okay, means my server is running successfully, but inside that server there is no application to receive this URL. There is no application to receive this URL request. So that's why it is giving error. For example, instead of this, I'll keep it as it is. I'll use 8085 or 86. Now, if I type this, you will get some other error, not HTTP 404. You will get like this. Why? You know, there is no server itself to accept the request. There is no server itself to accept the request. But if you use 8080 here, there is a server to accept the request, but inside that server, there is no proper URL, means there is no proper application to accept the URL. That's why it will give 404. But if you give wrong port number itself, means there is no server to accept the request. So your browser itself will throw error. So this is a browser error, whatever you have seen. This is not, is this a browser error or server error? Tomcat thrown error. Tomcat thrown error. Why? Because the request is going till Tomcat. The request is successfully able to access Tomcat, but inside the Tomcat, there is no application to accept this context route. That's why it thrown error. But if I use 86 or 89, something here, there is no application to accept the request here itself. That's why your browser itself will throw, hey, this kind site is can't, means this is an invalid URL, can't even be reached. Understood? 404, you remember this. Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I did the deployment into Tomcat, but in real time, it's okay to deploy directly copy into Tomcat. It's okay to directly deploy into Tomcat, but always we should not do that. It is in one factor, it is not recommended. First, directly copying into Tomcat is not recommended in one way. Why? We'll learn in some time, right? But there, before that, we need to learn one more thing about Tomcat, that is, we can do Tomcat deployment in other way, not only directly copying Control-C, Control-V, or else through CP command. In Linux means CP, source as target, right? Destination as web apps directory of the Tomcat. Like that we can copy, but that is not recommended. Apart from that, there is other way of doing the deployment. What is that is? Accessing this console. When you click on this, it will ask for the username and password, log into this, and then access the application. But I don't have the username and password to access. Right? So how to set the username and password? We'll learn later. Before that, I want to tell one more thing. This one. See, first time I am deploying my application inside means first time I am trying to configure Tomcat. I have a browser, right? In my application, I am trying to deploy my Tomcat. What is the default port number of Tomcat? What is the default port number of Tomcat? 80. But when I try to deploy Tomcat, before Tomcat itself, there is one more application running with the same port number, like Jenkins. Jenkins default port number is also 8080. So before installing or configuring or starting my Tomcat, I already have an application which is running with 8080 port number. So now, can I configure my Tomcat with the same 8080 port number? Is it possible?
No.
Why?
No. Because it is already assigned for the...
Yeah, if you try to do this and start your Tomcat, it will throw error. It will say that already an application is running with 8080 port number, like that it will throw error. Why? Because if you use for two applications, if you use same port number, when the request comes here, your host will get confused whether the request has to be routed to this or to this. So that's why your host itself, right? If it has assigned a port number to one application, when you try to assign the same port number to some other, while assigning itself, your host means your Linux or Windows server itself will throw error. Hey, this port number is already used, boss. You cannot use this. Please use some other port number, like that it will tell. So what in this case, as the 8080 port number is already used, I can't use that. So I want to use 8081 port number here. So the default port number of Tomcat is 8080, but that port number is already used by some other application. Now I can't use that 8080, so I want to change the port number of Tomcat to 8081. So how to change it is, where to change? Can you guess what is the directory where we can change the details? Here, conf. Go to conf directory. Here there is one file called as server.xml. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
Open that. See that under conf directory, under user your Tomcat home directory, under your Tomcat home directory, there is a file called as conf, right? So under there is a folder called as conf. Under that there is a file called as server.xml. Open it. Scroll down here. If you scroll down here, not this. You will be able to see something called as connector. Now you see there will be one more character. Everything is commented. You see here all are commented. All are commented, right? This is the starting of the comment. This is the ending of the comment. Means in in shell script we learn the comments, right? So in XML, this is how we comment. This is starting of the comment, ending of the comment. Means this will not be executed. Means these comments, what are all there, right? This will not be executed because those are commented, right? So here somewhere here connector is there, right? Here there is a port number called as 8080. You change it to 8081. You change it to 8081. So it was having 8080, right? Just change it to 8081, right? Now I'll go here. If I try to access my application with 8080, it should not work. Array, it's working. Let me use one more tab. Still working. It should not work because I changed the port number to 8081, right? But still it is working with 8080. Okay, let me check with 8081. Array, it's not working. Why? I changed it yearly. I haven't done any mistake. I'm 100,000% or Google amount of times I'm correct. This is the line where I have to change the port number from 8080 to 80 to 8081. I changed it, but my Tomcat is not working with 8081, but still it is working with 8080. What is the reason is?
Have you saved the file?
What?
Have you saved the file, sir?
Of course.
Already Tomcat is running backend.
Yes, of course, running. I saved it. Yes, correct. What is the thing
You
is?
may have to restart it.
Exactly. Right.
Browser.
When you change something in the conf, means when you do any configuration changes of your Tomcat, it is always not mandatory. Few cases it will work, but always it is better to stop your Tomcat and start it again. To apply the changes, it is always better. Few times it is mandatory, few times in few cases it will take few changes. What are those we'll see later. But for now, right, as we change the configuration changes, to affect those changes, we have to stop our Tomcat. I already stopped it, right? But that is not the way to stop the Tomcat, closing the browser. In real time, we'll use a different way. I said, right? Start and stop of Tomcat is different in a real time. I'll show you that. You don't worry. For now, I'm just showing for practice purpose. I close the terminal pop-up. I close the pop-up. So my Tomcat got stopped. Now I'm going to start it again. Startup.bat, double click. Right, my Tomcat has started. Let me go to my browser, access it with 8080. No, it's not working. Now let me try to access with 8081. Yes, I'm able to access. Success, right? So now if I want to access the same application, right, I'll just change the IP port number to 8081. I'm able to access my application. Yes or no? Yes, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Okay,
Yes, sir.
this is how we stop and start Tomcat, right? Okay, fine. Now I started my Tomcat again. Okay, let's see if I want to start it again. I can go to bin and start it. Now, have you understood how to deploy? What is the use of SCM to place a central code? To convert it to artifact, we use Maven. Once we generate the artifact, we'll take and deploy it in the Tomcat server. Understood? Have you got some idea what we do in the DevOps real-time servers, how we deploy? Have you got some idea?
Yeah.
Now I
Yes.
have one question. I have one question. At the starting of the classes, I said DevOps means if we automate the daily activities of developers plus operation team's job, then it is called as DevOps, like that I said, right? Now, am I really automating the deployment process?
No.
How can you say no?
Through Jenkins will automate.
This way, we're not doing it.
See,
Go this way.
can I automate the way how developers write the code? Can I automate code instead of developers writing, some machine will write? That is not possible. Developers will commit the code to GitHub. They'll write it, commit it. Okay. But once we commit the code into GitHub, right? Once the developers commit the code in and push it to GitHub, right? Now what I'm doing is I am calling that manually. I'm cloning the code, right? I'm running that MVN clean package. Once Maven generate that fact, I am manually taking it and putting it in the web apps directory of the Tomcat. Is that automation or manual process?
Manual process.
But I want to automate using DevOps tools. So whenever a developer commits the code into one of the branch, automatically that code, latest code has to be taken, give to Maven, run the Goal MVN clean package, take the artifact and put it in Tomcat web apps. Automatically should happen. How to do that? That we will learn in Jenkins. But this is not end of Tomcat. This is not end of Tomcat. Still there is something about Tomcat. Okay. Now, what is that Tomcat, right? What else is pending in Tomcat? I know few topics. Let me discuss. Let me check in my document whether I missed anything, the basics, whether I missed or not. Let me check. Let me cross check once. What and all I need to discuss, I know, but I just want to cross check. So what is Tomcat? I explained as this open source Apache software foundation from Apache Software Foundation, and it is open source application server. Okay, what is web server? I'll discuss later. What is application server? Right. So application server will allow you to deploy the applications. Okay, what is this web server? We'll see later. Next, Tomcat installation, like how we configure, right? How we download into local, run that. In Windows, I'll show you. I showed you. I explained what has been, what is con. Okay, I explained lib logs also. I explained. Now let me show you the logs. Let me show you the logs. I'll go to this. I'll go to this log folder. See, it has created few files. Manager with right manager something it has created. Log access host something it has created. Right. If you go and see this log access something it is right text file something it is saying host manager access Catalina. Right. It is showing. Let me go and open one of the logs like this. 23rd, 27 something it is showing. Okay. These are older logs. Oh, sorry. This is
Third
the
one.
old one. Not that one. Not that one. I have to go to this one. I was getting confused. So this is the one. Today we use this latest software, right? So let me use this. This latest version of Tomcat we started and worked with this, not with this one. This is the older one. Okay. This here it has logs. See here, Catalina dot. This let me open. Here, if you go here, see it is showing so much of information. Version Apache Tomcat September, this date, the program file it is able to read this Java, right? So the server has been started, server initialization within these milliseconds. Then after that, you see it here, right? So under web apps docs, something has finished. So initially when we started Tomcat, then if you see here, it has been started up once again. It has started, and we have done a deployment. The name of the deployment is this one under web apps. When this var file we deployed, right? And again, once again, we deployed something it is showing. Deploy once again, we did a couple of times, right? So everything it is showing server engine, that's enough. Like this, it is showing all the details, right? So again, we stopped and started, right? When we change the port number. So like that and all, it is going to track everything and show it in the log files, each log file. Okay. Next, I forgot to explain about this work directory. What is this work directory? You know, so first let me do one thing. Let me copy this var. First, let me delete this. I have for backup. Let me keep it here. For backup, I'll keep the var here. Now let me go here inside this web apps. I'll delete this. I'll delete that var file. Now you see here, this folder will also go. Okay, Tomcat in stopped state, right? So it will not go. I think when it is, let me start. Go on, start it once again. Automatically it has to go. Where is that? Yeah. Back. Okay, I'll go here, web apps. Let me remove this also. For example, let me repeat it once again. Okay. Okay, it has gone. So now what I'll do is I'll place the var file here. I'll place this var file. I'll take this. I'll place it here. So when I place it, you know, right, it will automatically get extracted. Now, when I remove this, means removing means what? Undeploy. Placing var file here or any other artifact is nothing but a var file, or any other artifact is nothing but a deployment. If I remove this, that is nothing but a undeployment. That extracted folder is also gone. Have you observed, guys? Have you observed this?
Yes.
Now let me go and show you one more thing. There is a work directory, right? See here under this Catalina localhost, whatever is there, docs, examples, host manager, manager root, right? Docs, example, host manager, manager root. Whatever is there under web apps, the same copy is there in the work. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, if I copy a var file here, wait a second, it will get extracted. It got extracted, right? Under web apps. Now, if I go to work, Catalina localhost, are you able to see that extracted, except that var file, the extracted folders you are able to see? Yes or no?
Yes.
So whatever you keep in web apps, a copy will be made into this work directory. Under work, again, Catalina localhost will be there. Means basically we call it work directory. So whatever we place inside that web apps, a copy will be made into work directory. Why it is making a copy is, if you go into Tomcat localhost 8081, right? See here, you can log in into Tomcat. Once you log in into Tomcat, you will be able to see all this, whatever is present inside this work Catalina localhost, right? Whatever is there here, that will be visible here. So why Tomcat will make a copy of the files from web apps to web apps to this work folder is, whatever is there in the work, those will be displayed in the Tomcat console. Okay, what is that? I'll show the proof in some time. Okay, I'll show you that. For now, you excuse me, I'll show you that. Okay, I thought like I configured the user. I'll show you that. For now, you remember whatever we place inside the web apps, a copy will be made into work. Why it will copy into work directory? Because whatever is present inside the work directory, that you can see in your Tomcat dashboard or Tomcat console once you log in. But I don't have username and password to log in into Tomcat. Okay, how we get that username and password, I'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, now, okay, work directory, I'll explain in detail once again. I'll show you that. So I explained what is the default port number and how to change the default port number. I explained, and how to start the Tomcat. I just showed in what is this? Windows. Okay, in Windows, if you don't like to start like this, you can start like this also, right? Where is my Tomcat? This bin folder, right? You can go cmd open command line, right? Here also you can start up.bat. You can run like this. So it will open. So it is a batch file, right? Either you can double click startup.bat. Either you can double click or else you can run as a command startup.bat. So once you run the command, your Tomcat will open a pop-up like this, right? If you want to stop your Tomcat, you can close this. You can close this, or else you can shut down .bat. You can run. There is one file here, shutdown.bat. Shutdown.bat. You can run this. Where is that command line? Shutdown.bat. Now see here, the pop-up will gone. Your Tomcat got stopped. So if it is Windows means, what you can do, you can either double click on this startup.bat, or else you can go open a command prompt in this bin location only. See this, it is I am under bin location. If you run from some other location, it cannot understand the bin commands. Now you may get one question, sir, why can't I set the path? You are saying, if I want to start Tomcat, If I want to start Tomcat, every time I have to go to bin location, and from here I have to execute the startup.bat or shutdown.bat, sh or bat, whatever it is, right? Why can't I set the path and all? Okay, we'll discuss this. I will answer this. Maybe when I install it on Linux, I'll discuss about this. Okay, for now, you understood how to stop and start Tomcat. You can double click on this startup.bat, or else you can open a command prompt on this location, bin location, and run a command called as startup.bat. For shutdown, you can close the terminal, or else like run in the command prompt shutdown.bat. Understood, guys? So
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
for shutting down, you have a command shutdown.bat. But starting, you have two commands. Either you can use startup.bat, or else there is one more command here. Catalina.bat is there, right? Catalina.bat run you have to use. Catalina.bat run. The difference between this Catalina.bat run and shutdown startup.sh, have you observed? When you use shutdown dot, go and close your cam, someone. No one. Okay, fine. Okay, Vaishnavi, you can turn off your camera. Okay. See this? Startup.bat is there, right? You can use this. If you use this, what will happen is a separate pop-up. A separate pop-up will open for Tomcat. But if you use Catalina.bat space run, the same command prompt, wherever you are using, right, that will be used as a pop-up here. Understood? If I type Control C here, right, it will stop it. It will stop it. Control C, right? Gone. My Tomcat got stopped. Okay, so that is a difference. Okay, anyways, we'll see the two ways you can start your Tomcat. Catalina command also you can use. Startup also you can use. For shutdown, only shutdown, but we'll not use batch files in real time. We use sh files because in real time we will work on Linux, right? We'll see that how to configure in Linux, right? Tomcat, I'll show you after some time, maybe not tomorrow also. I think it's better if I discuss about Jenkins basics and then discuss about how to work with this Tomcat. Okay, for now you understood how to work with the Tomcat, right, guys? How to run, how to start it and stop it in real time on a Linux machine, we'll see later. But for now, have you understood, right? How to starting is a different scenario. We'll see about that later. But for now, you understood, right? How to work with the Tomcat, how to do the deployment. You forget about how to start, how to stop on Windows. We'll see on Linux. But once we start the Tomcat, how to do the deployment, how to access the application, what is the port number, default port number, how to change the port number. You all understood that, right? Okay. Okay, that's it for today. Then we'll discuss remaining things tomorrow. Okay, not tomorrow. Tomorrow, okay, do we need to have class or let's not have?
No, sir. Break.
Break, huh? Okay, we'll connect on Monday morning. We'll discuss. Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any questions, guys? Before?
I have, sir.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure about this question. I'm not aware of fully understand what is different scenarios about the question. Just guide me. Host means where it which starts the connection, or host means where.
Oh,
it,
okay. Let me put off. Okay, you ask the question. Let me put that question also in recording. Okay, ask me. Okay, quick.
Okay, host means which starts the connection, or which
dude, host means your local computer or else Linux EC2 instance.
Yeah, it's a local host.
Local host means instead of giving IP address of your local machine, you are saying my local machine.
Yeah, that's it. I understood that.
Okay.
I'm just asking about general.
What is the question? Sorry, I didn't get
What
it.
actually host mean? He's asking.
Yeah.
Host means your computer or one Linux server or Windows server, something, one server, one operating system which has the operating system, right? That one.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, host means, yeah, I get it. I mean, it's my computer, okay?
See, I'm using a laptop. That is my host, right?
Yeah, host, it requests the permission for gives the permission for another server or
See,
something.
one question I want. Are you treating this
he's
local and
I
host
think he's
separately?
asking
I
that,
don't know how to ask the question, but
Okay.
it's in my head.
No, sir. I think he's asking whether host is to, I mean, where the page is hosted. I mean, while if we send a request, the page will be connected.
Okay.
If the
Let me-
if we deploy the page in a server, and when we send a request, it
Okay,
it
wait.
gets connected to the web page.
Yeah, okay. Let me tell you one thing. For now, it is not an exact correct. If someone new student watches the recording, they may think I'm giving wrong perspective. For now, let me tell you one thing.
Okay.
For your understanding,
Okay.
I'm typing HTTPS means
Okay.
I want to access something through the internet.
Yeah.
What I want to access? AWS console I want to access.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So AWS, for example, just think someone on their laptop or a Linux server, they install one application called as aws.amazon.com, right? So one application. The IP address of that application is this one, aws.amazon.com, right? If I give this, the request will go to that server,
Yeah.
that Linux server or whatever it is there, right?
Yeah.
For example, if I want to access flipkart.com, https://flipkart.com. If I access this, it will go to that Flipkart.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
If I type amazon.com, it will go to amazon.com. Same like that. Where should that? Either you see every Linux machine will have either host name. That is just know that flipkart.com, amazon.com are actually domains. For now, for your understanding, I'm saying as host name. Right? From my browser, this is my browser. From here, I want to access some other mission, then mission IP address is this one. It's like I want to access your application, your laptop will have IP address, right? Something
Yeah.
like that, 172.32.3.3 something. So when I hit this from my browser, the request will come to your laptop. Understood?
Yeah.
So on your laptop, you have a Tomcat with 8080 port number running. So I can access your Tomcat like this. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood, man?
Yeah, understood that.
Okay. Now, if you want to access the Tomcat, which is running on my local, then if I give my public IP address, right? If you type http:// public IP address of